Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Tuesday, November the 6th. We just have a 4-game slate for this Tuesday, so we're going to have a quick video, but I'm still going to go through each position and talk about some of my favorite plays on this 4-gamer. Before we do get started, though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Uploading these NBA videos daily, so I would appreciate it if you would subscribe if you are enjoying the videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at point guard today. So I think we've got about 4 stud options at this position. You got Dame Lillard, Kemba, John Wall, and Devin Booker. I would consider those our studs for this position. I definitely want to pay up for probably at least 2 of these guys, maybe even 3. Lillard might be the guy that I fade today at 9,600 or have the least exposure to. I just rather would play Kemba over Lillard. Love this spot for Kemba. He's at home against a really bad Hawks team, a Hawks team that's been playing very fast this year, one of the fastest paces in the league. They just don't play a ton of good defense either. Really good spot for Kemba. We know how good he is at home. If this game can stay competitive, I think we see a big game out of Kemba, 50 to 60 DraftKings points. We know he has that kind of upside. Lately, he's been underperforming, just 37, 38, and 30 DK points last 3 games, and with the increasing price, I feel like we're going to get Kemba relatively low owned today for it to be a 4-game slate. He'll probably come in at like 15-20%, which is probably lower than it should be. I'll be double the field. If Kemba's going to be 15-20%, I'm definitely going to have 35 to 40% of him in my lineups. Love Kemba here. If you need the savings, you can go down to John Wall. I feel like Kemba might have a little bit more upside, but John Wall at 8,800, you could definitely go to against the Mavericks. And then Devin Booker, another guy in a good spot. He gets to face Brooklyn. Brooklyn has not been playing as fast this year. Both of these teams really haven't been playing as fast. Last year, this would have been like a dream spot because these 2 teams last year were playing at the fastest pace in the league. That hasn't been the case yet this year. Brooklyn's actually been playing pretty slow, and Phoenix is about middle of the pack when it comes to pace. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of points here like maybe we would have last year, but still a good spot for Devin Booker at home against Brooklyn. Brooklyn not a good defensive team, even though they're playing slow. So if you want to go to Booker, I think he's okay, but I'm going to try and get as much Kemba as I can if I'm paying up at this position. If I'm going to the mid-range, Trae Young in that same game going up against Kemba, I do like Trae Young here at 7,300. When the Hawks were playing in competitive games this year, Trae Young's playing a ton of minutes. He's taking a ton of shots. If this game stays competitive, definitely like Trae Young at 7,300. Doncic's questionable, and I'm not sure if he's going to play today. I'll probably have some exposure to Doncic if he is out, but that's an injury we're definitely going to have to watch as the day goes on. If he misses, could open up maybe some value, and maybe make a guy like Dennis Smith Jr. a much stronger play. But I still think Dennis Smith Jr. is a pretty strong play, even if Doncic is in. 5,700 for Dennis Smith just feels a little bit too cheap. If Doncic is out, I'm going to have a ton of Dennis Smith here. I expect him to have the ball in his hands a lot if Doncic is out. And at 5,700, it's just too cheap of a price tag for Smith Jr. Playing against Washington, a team that plays fast, really not like an elite defense or anything. I like this spot for Dennis Smith. Love the price tag as well, under 6K. If I'm going to the mid-range at point guard, he's probably one of my favorite options. I do like D'Angelo Russell as well at 6K, but I think I'd actually play Dennis Smith over D'Angelo Russell today. But Russell's for sure an option if you want to go there. And I think that's probably it for me at point guard. Like, Tony Parker's been getting some minutes lately, and he's been producing, but probably won't be on Tony Parker at 4,200. Just feel like there are probably other options we could go to. So that's it for point guard options I see. So let's move on to shooting guard. Look at some of the guys we haven't mentioned. So you got Bradley Beal, 7,400. Bradley Beal just feels like a really good price play here. Just feels a little bit underpriced, cheaper than he should be. Pretty likely that Bradley Beal is going to hit value on this price. I'd say it's unlikely he disappoints. Even if he has like an off night, he can still return some value on this price. Even if you get a floor game from Bradley Beal, like 30 points, that's really not killing you at 7,400. I think Bradley Beal a really strong cash play today. He definitely has some tournament upside on this price. Could easily get 6x, which would be like 44, 45 DK points would be 6x this price, which is kind of what you want in tournaments. And I think Beal can get that, so I do like him if I can pay up at this position. I'd probably try and get up to Booker because I feel like Devin Booker might have a little bit more upside, but Bradley Beal is for sure an option you could go to. In the mid-range, kind of the same guys I mentioned. Like I really like D'Angelo Russell here at 6K. I'm pretty sure you can play Dennis Smith at shooting guard, but if you can't, he's still another mid-tier option. But looking for maybe value shooting guards that we could go to. Not a ton I see that I love. This position overall is just not really that great. I don't see a lot of plays or a lot of guys I feel like I have to have. Like Evan Turner's been playing minutes lately, but his price tag's starting to get up there. Wes Matthews at 5,100 could maybe be a guy we go to just because he's going to be on the floor a lot. He's going to play probably 34, 35 minutes if it's a competitive game. He's going to take some shots when he's on the floor. I could see going to Wesley Matthews at this position. Maybe a guy like Jeremy Lamb. Jeremy Lamb's shown some upside lately, 33, 29 DK points his last 2 games. But if you look in the minutes, not getting a ton of minutes, or not getting the minutes we really want at 5,200, just 24, 25 minutes, although that game against Cleveland was a blowout, but 25 minutes in a competitive game against OKC, just 19 minutes here against Miami, under 30 minutes against Philly. I want to see 30-plus minutes for Jeremy Lamb before I really go to him, but on a 4-game slate with limited options, I could see going there at shooting guard. That's probably it for this position for me. Let's move on to small forward. We do have Giannis at this position, and Giannis is 12.6 today. Pretty expensive. Going to be very hard to fit Giannis in. I feel like this might be like a pricing error. I feel like DraftKings was trying to make him 11.6. But if they were actually trying to price him at 12.6, then I just don't know if I can go there today. Unless a lot of value opens up, you could go to Giannis, but at 12.6, for him to even be worth this price, you're going to need probably 70 from him. We know Giannis can get there, but I would say it's more likely he probably gets you like 55 to 60 in this spot, and I don't think that's really good enough at 12,600, so I don't expect myself to have a ton of Giannis. Now, if we get a lot of cheap value as the day goes on, I'll for sure jam some Giannis in, but right now it's going to be pretty hard to fit him in at that hefty price. So let's look for other small forward plays. Taurean Prince, questionable right now as I'm recording this video. If he is out today, or I believe he's doubtful actually, I don't even think he's questionable, I think he's doubtful, so it's unlikely that Taurean Prince plays. So if we look for the value, DeAndre Bembry, I think that's how you say his name, at 4,300 should be possibly starting for Taurean Prince. Definitely going to provide us a lot of value at this price tag. Should probably see closer to 30 minutes, even with Prince playing this year. Bembry still getting good run off the bench, 24 to 25 minutes just about every game. I think he sees an increase in minutes, probably 3 or 4 more minutes. Could get to 30 minutes here. At 4,300, could definitely get 7, 8x this price. We could see a nice game from DeAndre Bembry here. So I really like him at 4,300. Taurean Prince, doubtful, not expected to play. That makes Bembry a really good value. Otto Porter, another injury we want to watch. He is, I believe, questionable for this game. Did say that he went through a full practice Monday, so I would say it's more likely that he plays, but if he is out, Kelly Oubre, I didn't mention, at shooting guard, you could play at small forward. He could be a value play if Otto Porter is out. TJ Warren, another injury. Warren is listed as questionable. If he misses, Ryan Anderson probably pick up another start and play some minutes, but I don't even know what Ryan Anderson's price is. I don't even think he's small forward eligible. Let's type him in real quick. So he's only power forward center eligible. I don't think he's really been doing that great lately. I mean, he played 25, 28 minutes last 2 games, but hasn't really done that much. Against Brooklyn, I could see going to Ryan Anderson just as a punt play, but we'll talk more about him at power forward. So let's move on to this position. Look at some plays we haven't talked about. So Al-Farouq Aminu is a guy that I've been on a lot lately, but his price tag is now starting to really catch up. I was on him in those 2 games against New Orleans and against the Lakers. Didn't play him, I don't think, any against Minnesota. And at 5,400 here against Milwaukee, I would say they're probably going to use him to defend Giannis. So he should probably see some big minutes, but at 5,400, I feel like Al-Farouq Aminu's price is a little bit, or his upside is a little bit limited at this price. We'll probably be avoiding him today. Power forward looks like a really gross position, just in my opinion, if you're not playing Giannis. Probably a guy like Harrison Barnes, probably going to be the guy that I roll with in a lot of lineups. Maybe Trevor Ariza, 4,900, especially if TJ Warren is out. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson's really cheap, but he hasn't been seeing a ton of minutes lately. His minutes have been capped, I believe. He did play 30 minutes last game against Philly, but for that, just 27, 25, 19 minutes. But if we're going to get 30-plus minutes from Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, He honestly might be one of the best values overall on this slate at power forward, or obviously at power forward, but overall on the slate, RHJ might be one of the best values if he's not going to be limited when it comes to minutes. 4,800 against Phoenix, definitely want to go there. So RHJ, Harrison Barnes, probably my two favorite power forward value plays. If you want to take a flyer on Ryan Anderson, he's 3,200. Probably will start if TJ Warren's out. But that's definitely a risky play. Never know what you're going to get from Ryan Anderson. Dewayne Dedmon, if we see his minutes increase, I think he could be a really intriguing option, but the minutes are very inconsistent. Just 23, 16, 12, and 23 minutes last 4 games. If we knew Dedmon was going to play like 25, 26, 27 minutes, I'd have a lot of interest in him, but we don't know if those minutes are going to be very secure. Really just kind of depends. If Lynn struggles and gets in foul trouble, Dedmon will play a lot. If Lynn's doing well, Dedmon doesn't see a ton of runs, so that's probably a situation to avoid. Power forward for me today, mostly going to be a lot of RHJ, some Trevor Ariza, some Harrison Barnes, but mostly RHJ at this position. But let's go ahead and move on to center. There's a lot of good plays at this position, especially at the top. So you do have DeAndre Jordan at 7,900, who's going up against Dwight Howard. You could definitely play DeAndre Jordan. He probably is a pretty safe option at 7,900. Very likely he returns you good value on that price. But I feel like DeAndre Ayton maybe has a little bit more upside than DeAndre Jordan. Ayton is $400 cheaper. Really good matchup against Brooklyn. We know how bad Brooklyn is defensively. They're very bad defensively against centers. DeAndre Ayton, just love to see this right here. 32, 31, 35, 37 minutes. Playing a ton of minutes, especially in competitive games. Even in blowouts, they're still giving DeAndre Ayton 30-plus minutes. He's been playing really well lately, has at least 35 DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. Has a 47-point game against Toronto where he went for 17 and 18 with 2 assists, 2 blocks. I think we see a big game out of DeAndre Ayton. Love him on this slate, one of my favorite plays. Just such a good matchup. It's 7,500. I don't expect him to be insanely popular. Obviously the matchup's good, but the price tag isn't insanely great. People will probably play Jordan over Ayton, but I think I prefer Ayton today for a little bit cheaper. And then you do have Jusuf Nurkic at 6,700. Probably will be avoiding Nurkic today. I was on him a lot when he was priced in the 5K range, but now up to 6,700. Against Brook Lopez, a guy that can stretch the floor, could give Nurkic a little bit of trouble. I don't think we see Nurkic play a ton of minutes today. Probably going to be avoiding him. Dwight Howard, 6,100, I do like. I feel like Dwight Howard's going to have to be on the floor a lot in this game. He's probably going to have to be on the floor probably every minute that DeAndre Jordan's on the floor. At 6,100, I think Dwight played 31 minutes his last game. If we're going to get 30 minutes again out of Dwight, I could see going to him at 6,100 in the mid-tier. Going back to that Brooklyn-Phoenix game, love Jarrett Allen as well, 5,200. I think both centers in this game are great plays today. I think Jarrett Allen, one of the best center plays, if not when it comes to value, one of the best value plays. Just underpriced for the matchup. Could easily get 6 to 7x value on this price. Such a good matchup. Phoenix really bad defensively. Even though both of these teams are playing slower this year, they're still 2 pretty bad defenses. And Jarrett Allen in competitive games this year is playing close to 30 minutes, if not more. A lot of Brooklyn's games so far have not been competitive. Against Philly, they blew Philly out. Against the Knicks, they got blown out by 19 points. But competitive games, Allen's playing pretty good minutes. Only played 22 minutes against Detroit, but he did foul out in that game, had 6 fouls. I think Jarrett Allen, one of those probably safer options. Pretty likely he gets you at least 20 to 25, and we know he has that 35, 40-point upside, especially in this matchup. So I love Ayton and Jarrett Allen in that Brooklyn-Phoenix game at center. And I think that's it for center, the plays that I'm really going to be on today. So I think that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, just make sure you click that like button before you get out of here. I'd really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. If you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And good luck tonight on Tuesday's 4-game slate. Peace.